Hare Krishna devotees. So I welcome you all today, 13th chapter, Kshetra, Kshetragya, Vibhag, Yoga. Okay. So yesterday we have finished the Bhakti Yoga chapters. Officially, we have finished the Bhakti Yoga chapters. Now we are moving to the Jnana Yoga chapters. Okay. So these are also very important. It will increase our devotion when we have this knowledge, how this nature, world, consciousness, everything, how these things are working. Okay. So these chapters are also very nice. So let's start today's chapter. Before starting, let's recite Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashlakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manoabhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Cha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The teachings is based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We pay our humble obeisances unto His lotus feet so that His teachings of Bhagavad Gita we can apply in our life. Okay. So let's start today's chapter. Sections we have already seen. The first 6 chapter, section 1, that is the Karma Yoga section. The second portion, chapter 7 to 12, that is the Bhakti Yoga section. And third, the 13 to 18 chapter, that is Jnana Yoga section. So first 6 chapter we have seen the confidential knowledge about the body and soul distinction, that we are not this body, we are this soul, that we have seen in the first section. Then we have seen about the karma, action, inaction, okay, karma, vikarma, akarma, okay, those things we have seen. But ultimately, every chapter, if you see, they're ending in the Bhakti Yoga, that Bhakti is best, Bhakti is best. And at the end of 6th chapter also it is said Bhakti Yoga is best. Then from 7th to 12th chapter, Bhakti Yoga started. And we have the knowledge of more confidential knowledge about the devotional service. The more confidential knowledge means the knowledge of the devotional service. Then we have the most confidential knowledge also. Most confidential knowledge means pure devotional service. Devotional service, knowledge of devotional service, more confidential. Most confidential, pure devotional service, and how Krishna reciprocates to that devotee. The Dami Buddhi Yogam. Krishna gives the Buddhi Yogam, intelligence for that person to come to him. The third part, that is 13 to 18, that is the Jnana section and the perfection of Jnana. Okay, so that we are going to see today. We have given this example that this Bhagavad Gita is like jal box. The two coverings are there, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, and in the middle there is Bhakti Yoga. The middle portion, the jewel part is the Bhakti Yoga. 12th chapter summary we'll see. First part we have seen the Godhead, which form to be worshipped, the impersonalist form or personalist form. But Lord says both are good. Both are ultimately will come to me only. But the path of impersonalist is very painful. Okay, the path is very painful, but the path of service, devotional service, is very easy to fix mind. Okay, Krishna personally protects. Okay. Okay. Krishna personally protect the devotees. So we have seen that personalists are far better than the impersonalism. That we have seen. Second part, we have seen the options. If what are the options to perform the bhakti, how we can perform bhakti, and we have seen in detail what we can do to follow the bhakti. Okay. Third is devotee disposition. How devotees are disposed. Okay. What is their thinking and which qualities Krishna is very dear to Krishna. Okay. That we have seen. So these things we have already discussed in 12th chapter, just summarizing those things. Now we are coming to the 13th chapter. The chapter name is Nature Enjoyer on the Consciousness. So there is this question, this chapter start from the wise question from Arjuna, and the mnemonic is also wise. Okay, 13th chapter mnemonic is wise. So the wise questions from Arjuna. So Arjuna is asking 6 questions, 6 very nice questions, and Krishna is describing those questions. Okay, answers. Second part is items of knowledge. Different items of knowledge Krishna tells. Okay, what are things we should be inspiring for. Okay, then soul and super soul. What is the distinction between the soul and super soul? That we are going to see. And at last we are going to see the enjoyer, who is the ultimate enjoyer, and the Jnana Chakshu, how we can see. Okay, so these things we are going to see today, and it start with wise questions. So we are going to start first part, that is wise questions by Arjuna. So Arjuna once again starts with a question. So Arjuna is a very nice devotee, very nice questioner for us. He's asking. So if a very nice interviewer is there in the TV asking question from a person, okay, then we see, yes, this person is asking my question. Arjuna is doing the same thing. He's nice, asking so nice question that it is clearing all of us our doubts. Okay, Bhagavad Gita, that is called Bhagwan Gita. So Arjuna is asking again question. Okay. So what is that question? 13.1. Arjuna uvacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetragyam evacha etad veditum echhami jnanam geyam chaksheshava. Arjuna said, "Oh my dear Lord Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti. Prakritim purusham chaiva. What is Prakriti? What is Purusha? And the field and the knower of the field. Kshetram kshetragya. What is the field and the knower of field? And I want to know about the Jnana and the Geyam. Okay, Jnanam Geyam Chakeshava. So what is knowledge and the object of knowledge? 6 things. Prakriti, Purusha, field and the knower of field, Jnana and the object of the knowledge. So these are 6 questions. Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetragya, Jnana and Geyam. So let's see what is the answer given by Krishna in the slokas. Okay. The full Krishna is actually answering in the full sloka chapter the answer of these sloka, these questions. So let's see what Krishna answers. Okay, what is Prakriti? This material nature is Prakriti. What is Purusha? This Jiva or the enjoyer of this Prakriti is called the Purusha. Okay, so Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti, the material nature. Purusha is the enjoyer of this Prakriti. There is supreme enjoyer also. What is the supreme enjoyer? Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer. Then third question, what is Kshetra? Kshetra means a place where activity is done. So the soul is doing activity where? In this body. Okay. So the soul is where? The activity is being done in which place? So that is called the body. So this body is called a Kshetra. Sharira is called the body. Okay. What is Kshetragya? Knower of this body. A person who resides in this body, a person who knows this body is called the knower of this body, Kshetragya. Who are the knower? 2 knowers are there, the super soul and the living entity. Okay. Then what is Jnanam? Jnanam is knowing about the Kshetra and Kshetragya is called Jnanam. Kshetra and Kshetragya. Body and the knower of this body is called Jnanam. Okay. Understanding about the Jnana and Kshetra and Kshetragya is called Jnanam. And what is the Geyam? The goal of knowledge is Paramatma. Okay. So one very nice example is there to understand this concept of the Kshetra and Kshetragya. So there is a field or Kshetra. Okay. Field or Kshetra. And there is one farmer is there who is plowing the field, who is doing work on the field. This field belongs to the farmer. Okay. But so this field is the body and this farmer is the soul. He's working in this body. Okay. So this field belongs to the farmer, but there is one more thing. This field belongs also to the king or the government. Okay, this government or the king is there. So the king knows about this field also and all other field which is there in the government, under the government. King know all about all other fields also. This farmer will be knowing about his field only, but the king will be knowing about all other fields. Okay, so the king is also knower of the field, and this farmer is also knower of the field. These two people both are knower of the field. King knows all about other fields also. Farmer knows only about his field. So that is the difference between the super soul and the living entity. Living entity is the farmer, super soul is the king. Okay, like that. One more thing. This farmer is different, and this kshetra is different, or the field is different. Farmer and field are different thing. The body and soul is different. They are not same. Okay. The body and soul are different. The farmer and the field is different. Okay. So this is the thing. So farmer knows about his field only. King knows about all field in the kingdom. Okay. So these were the 6 questions and answered by Krishna. Krishna is the owner of this house, super owner. This house. So in our house, we know about only about our house, but Krishna is the knower of this house as well as other houses also, like that. Now we are coming to this Prakriti, the material elements which are making this Prakriti. Okay. This chapter number 13 is little bit difficult. Why it is difficult? Because it contains many terms. Okay. And people used to confuse about those terms. So I'll try to make this chapter as simple as possible so that you can understand the terms, and this chapter will be very easy for you to understand. Okay. So till now 6 terms we have seen. Okay. Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetragya, Gyan, and Geyam. I hope you have understood till now. Okay. So let's now move to how this Prakriti is made with 24 material elements. Okay. So this Prakriti, or everything is which is there in the Prakriti, is made of 24 elements. So what are those 24 elements? We are going to see. So this chart is a very busy chart. It seems that so many elements. Oh, how I can remember. Okay. So I'll try to make it very simple. Just try to be with me. So let's start from here. Already you know there are 5 gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These are called Panch Mahabhut. Okay. So these are making the Prakriti. 5 gross elements. Then here comes the knowledge acquiring senses. So we have senses. That senses are also part of Prakriti only. So these are called knowledge acquiring senses. Eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. These are knowledge acquiring senses. Already you know about these things only. So 10 things already you know. Then we have knowledge acquiring senses, and based on that, they are object of senses also. If there is senses, there is object of senses. Just like if there is eyes, there is form. Some form is there which I can look upon. If there is nose, there are smell is there. That is called object of sense for nose. If ears are there, there is sound. If tongue is there, there is touch. Tongue is there is taste here. And skin is there, then there is touch. Okay. So these are the 5 objects of the senses based on the knowledge acquiring senses. So already you know 15 elements now. 5 gross elements, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, and 5 object of the senses. 15 you know already. Now this one, the working senses. So we have few senses for our working. What are those senses? Voice, leg and hand, anus and genitalia. Voice, leg, hand, anus, and genitalia. These are called working senses through which we work. Okay. So totally we have seen till now 20 elements. Okay. Now 4 more left. So already you know subtle elements: mind, intelligence, and false ego. Sukshma Sharira. These are also there. They are also part of material element. Okay. So Sukshma Sharira, mind, intelligence, false ego. Totally 23. 24th is unmanifested or Pradhan or Mahat Tattva. Okay. Mahat Tattva, the thing which we have seen in the Goloka chart. We have seen that Mahat Tattvas are coming. The main Tattva for the material creation are coming from the pores of the body of Vishnu, Karnadaksha Vishnu. That is called Mahat Tattva, unmanifested. Okay. So that also forms the 24th element. So total 24 elements are there. 5 gross elements, 5 knowledge acquiring elements, 5 object of the senses, 5 working senses, 3 mind, intelligence, and false ego, and 1 is unmanifested. These 4 are called subtle elements. Okay. So total 24 elements are there. And interaction between these elements we will bring the symptom of life. Let's see the translation. The five great elements: false ego, intelligence, and unmanifested. The 10 senses and the mind, 5 sense objects: desire, hatred, happiness, distress, and aggregates, the life symptoms and conviction. All these are considered in summary to be the field of activity and their interaction. This is the field of activity. What is the field of activity? These things are field of activity and their interaction. Based on their interaction, there will be desire, hatred, happiness, distress. Okay. So these are called the field of activity for these. So let's revise this through this chart so that we can remember. So Panch Mahabhut is there: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. These are called Panch Mahabhut. Then knowledge acquiring senses are there: ear, eye, nose, tongue, and touch. Then working senses are there: voice, leg, hand, evacuating organ, or anus and genitalia. Okay, so these are the 5 working senses. And based on the knowledge acquiring senses, there is object of the senses. So here is object of the senses. Like form is there for eyes, form is there for eye, ear, sound, nose, smell, touch, tongue for taste, touch for the skin for the touch. So these are the object of the senses and the knowledge senses. Then there are 3 are the mind, intelligence, and false ego, and 1 is pradhan. So these are the 24 elements. Result of interaction of these 24 elements are pleasure, pain, desire, hatred. These are the result of interaction of these 24 elements. So these are called 24 material elements. And in this body, only material things are not there. There are spiritual things also. What are those spiritual things? 2 more things are there. One is called super soul and other is spirit soul. 26 elements total. Okay. 24 elements plus 1 super soul and the spirit soul. These 2 are spiritual. So these totally are 24 elements. Okay. So these were the wise questions. Now we are going to see items of the knowledge. The second part, items of the knowledge. Okay. Let's see. So Arjuna again pondered, how do I understand or cultivate this knowledge? How am I going to cultivate and understand this knowledge? Okay. So how we can understand Bhagavad Gita is mood. Our mood should be ultimate faith, surrender to Krishna, faith, personal character, and practical behavior. Just not listening, practically following also. Okay. With this, we will be able to develop the divine qualities. Now let's see what are the divine and divine quality and items and how we can cultivate them. So the items of knowledge. Before that, there is one picture to understand about the soul and super soul. So it is described that there is like one tree is there. Okay. And in the tree, there are 2 birds sitting on the branch. One bird is very silent. You see this bird? This bird? Very silent. Not doing nothing. Just observing the other bird. What the other bird is doing? This bird is engaged in tasting the different fruits of the tree. Sometimes sour fruits are coming, sometimes tasty fruits are coming, sometimes sweet fruits are coming. So he's engaged in tasting the different kinds of fruits. He is not looking at the other bird. Other bird is waiting. Okay, this bird should see me, but this bird is not seeing. So this bird represents Krishna, Paramatma in our heart. Just they are waiting for the person to look at the Paramatma form. But what this bird is doing? Trying to enjoy. Okay, like that. So that is the example. So for super soul and soul. Okay. So let's see what are the qualities of item of the knowledge. So these 20 elements are there. 20 elements, Krishna considered these 20 elements as the item of knowledge. Beyond it, if there is anything, that is called ignorance. Okay. That is not the knowledge, that is ignorance. So what are the 20 elements of the knowledge? humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, accepting a spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of sense objects, absence of false ego, perception of evil of death, birth, disease, and old age, detachment, no entanglement with worldly affairs, wives, children, etc., even-mindedness, unalloyed devotional service, ananya bhakti, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from general masses, accepting the importance of self-realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth. 20 elements are there. Okay. Out of these, one is most important. This one, 16. 16 is the most important. You see, unalloyed devotional service, Ananya Bhakti, we have seen in 12th chapter. Okay. That is the most important point. How to develop that? It can be developed through this, accepting a spiritual master. So these two, out of these 20, these two are most important. A person who is in unalloyed devotional service, he will have all the qualities, all the 24 qualities. So endeavoring for developing the simple quality like humility, pridelessness, it is very difficult. Non-violence, tolerance, very difficult. A person who is just a devotee, unalloyed devotional service, he will have all the qualities. Okay, so that is the thing. If you want to read about all these items, please go through the book. Okay, we cannot even 20 items to discuss every item is very difficult. Okay, so you can go through the chapter and you can read out. Okay, I will tell you in the last of this chapter, if you don't have the book, from where you can read. Okay, just remind me. I will show you. If you have the book, go through the book and read out. In the purports, you can find every details of the everything. Okay, the 20 elements. So I'll encourage you to read. Go open and read. Okay, these are the items. So now we are coming to this part, that is Jiva in this material world. A very nice story is there to understand our condition in this life. Okay, so I'll tell you the story first. Okay, so let's try to understand the story. There is one person. Okay, one person going through the jungle. So he was going through the jungle, and then he saw there is mad elephant coming towards him. So he started running. Okay, he started running, and he saw that mad elephant is behind him only. Mad elephant is also following him only. How much he is running, the mad elephant is also running, like that. Okay, then he saw one tree. Okay, he climbed the tree, and he climbed to one tree, and he hold one branch, and he hanged himself, because elephant was also there. So he was not daring to come out from the tree. Okay, so there is one danger. Elephant is not moving only, he is not going away, so he's hanging. Okay, then he saw that there is one dark well is there inside. Okay, just behind the place where he was hanging, below that there is dark well, and the dark well is full of snakes. Okay, that is another danger. He cannot leave the branch also. If he leaves, then he will go to the well. Dangerous snakes are there. Okay, then he saw that even if he is not leaving, there is two mice are there, mouse. They are cutting the branch. Okay, they are cutting the branch. This person, the branch where the person is hanging, they are cutting the branch. One more danger. Okay, then he saw there are small honeybees are there who came for biting this person. So this person is now very irritated. From everywhere there is trouble. First the mad elephant was there, now the big well is there, and the snake. Okay, mice are there who are cutting the branch. He's going to fall anyway. And then there is honeybees are there who are biting the person. So much dangerous place. So much danger is there. Then again he saw that Supreme Lord is also there, who has come to help this jiva. He is spreading out his hand so that this person will give the hand, and Supreme Lord can take this person back to Godhead. But this person is not giving the hand. Why? Because of one thing. Okay, why? Because when he was having so much problem, everywhere he was having problem, Okay, or the only way to get out is to hold the Supreme Lord and go out from this place. But just at that time only, he saw some sweet taste is there on the tongue. Something was dropping directly on the tongue. Okay, so he just tried to see what thing is there in the above. Okay, and at the above part, he saw there is a honeybees. Okay, so there is a it's called honeybees are there. Okay, and there is a hives, bee hives are there. Okay, and from there the small drops of honey are coming, and they are directly dropping. They're directly coming to the tongue of that person, and that person is tasting. Very tasty, very tasty. Okay, and he's not giving the hand to the Supreme Lord. Okay, that is the condition of ours. Can you relate this story? Can you relate this story to yourself? What the story is telling? Can anyone raise the hand and tell what they have understood through this story? Then we'll move forward. You raise hand, I'll unmute, then you can tell what we have learned through this story. Hare Krishna Niti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We have learned from this story that we jiva, we are entangled in the fame, in gathering money and all other worldly things and worldly matters. So that's why God is giving his hand towards us. He's spreading his hand, but we are not holding it because we are entangled here in different matters, in collecting money or popularity or becoming familiar, famous, these sort of stuff. That's why we are not looking towards him. We are not giving him our hand.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Very nice. So the thing is, this jiva is us only. This mad elephant is the death, final death. It is bound to come. Okay. Finally, this mad elephant is going to devour this person. Whether he falls, whether he goes anywhere, this mad elephant is going to kill this person. Okay. That is the death. Finally, death is going to come to us. Okay. Then these are the mices. One mice is white, one mice is black. These are day and night. They're cutting our life. Day by day, our life is getting shortened. That is another problem. Final death is there. Then day and night, where our time is getting lost. Okay. That is another problem. Then comes the snakes and the well. Sometimes big problem comes in our life. Big problem. These snakes represent the big problem. Okay, or the well represent the big problem, and the honeybees, they represent the small problems. Okay, so much problems we have, we are surrounded by the problems everywhere. But and only there is way also to get out of this problem. Supreme Lord is there, he can take us. But what we are doing, no, Lord, please let me taste this honey. Some honey is there. So that is because people are hankering for the happiness. Happiness is not there. And that honey drop amidst the such problems, if a person is engaged, if a person is forgetting all the problem, he is engaging himself in the tasting of the honey, that person is fool only. So much problem is there, so many problems there, but still that person is not holding the Lord's hand, and that person is engaged in tasting of the honey only, that person is fool only. Okay, so that is the condition of ours in this material world. Okay, so actually we are surrounded by the problems. There are two types of problems. Okay, real problem and temporary problems. There is real problem and there is temporary problem. Real problem, scientists are trying to develop so many things to solve our problem, but they're not touching the real problems. These are called real problems, and science cannot do anything to solve those problems. Science can only develop the things of comfort so that we can enjoy the sense gratification. We can do the sense gratification to certain higher level, more level. Okay, like that. So thing is, real problems, no one will be able to solve other than Lord. Okay, science may try to do this thing, that thing, anywhere these things, but they're not doing anything for the birth, death, old age, and disease. Okay. One disease they are making any drug, next disease is ready. And that drug only will cause the next disease. Okay. So many things are there. Okay. Birth, death, old age, and disease. Real problems. These are called real problems. Every person will suffer through these problems. Any person, from the lowest loka to the highest loka in this material world, will suffer from these problems. Okay. Birth, death, old age, and disease. Of course, higher loka won't have the old age and disease, but birth and death everywhere. That is called real problems. Temporary problems, some person will suffer, some won't, like food, shelter, clothes, money. Okay, some person may have crores and crores of money, still they will be suffering that I don't have money. Okay, so that is the thing. So that is called real problem and temporary problem in this world. And we are surrounded by the real and temporary problems. Krishna is there to hold our hand, but still we are tasting the honey. Okay, we are engaged in tasting the honey. Krishna is already supplying everything. Food, shelter, clothing, money, everything is supplied by Krishna. We don't have to endeavor too much to get these things. Okay, that is the position of soul and the items of knowledge and position of ours in this material world. Now we are going to see souls and the super souls. So in the chart, we have summarized the difference between the soul and super soul. Let's try to understand the points. Soul is a living entity and is known as Jivatma. The super soul is God and is maintainer and known as Paramatma. So soul is Jivatma, super soul is Paramatma. Okay. Soul is the individual knower of his own body. We have seen the Kshetra. Soul is knowing about the Kshetra. But the super soul, the king, he is the super knower of everything and anything and everyone. Okay. So the thing is, individual soul, you look at individual soul, he doesn't know about his body also. Actually, we don't know about our body also. Fully, we don't know. We are knower of this body, but we actually don't know what is happening to our body. We are not actually the controller of our body. We try to become controller of whole world, but actually we cannot control our body also. That is the reality. We don't know how we are, after taking the food, how the food is getting digested, how the food is getting absorbed, how the food is getting into every organ, and how the food is getting converted into energy. How these things are happening. We know just that these things happen, but how? Who is doing it? Who is so perfectly doing it? Okay. So we don't know everything about our body. And we are not the controller also. Why? How we are not controller? We can control, we can move our hand, we can move our eyes, everything we can move. How we are not our controller? Okay. Certain things we can control, but most of the thing we cannot control. How our heart is beating, we cannot control. How our blood pressure is rising, how the person is suffering from BP, they are not able to control. If we are controller, why these things are happening? Why these diseases are happening to person? Actually, we are not the controller. Who is the controller? Supreme soul is the super knower of everything and anything, everyone. He is the full controller and he knows everything about every other the body. Okay, so that is the difference between us and super soul. We are like Anu, very small, little bit. Krishna is like Vibhu, unlimited. Okay, soul is secondary proprietor for one body, not the primary proprietor. Krishna is the supreme proprietor of all the body. All the body belongs to him. Secondary control of the senses. Soul is secondary control of the senses. Super soul is supreme Lord is supreme control of all the senses. Govardhan. He is Govardhan. Okay. Yes, soul's quality is Sachidanan, eternal knowledge and blissful. Super soul is also Sachidanan. Quality wise, we are soul and super soul is similar. Okay. Then comes controlled by the material nature, Maya. Soul is under control by the Maya. When the soul comes in contact with Maya, he is entangled. Now it is entangled. Okay. Super soul is controller of the Maya. Okay. Just like any insect comes to the net of spider, the insect is now found. Whatever, how much he tries, more entanglement. Okay. So that is the Maya. We're controlled by the Maya. Soul is controlled by the Maya, material nature. But super soul is control of the Maya. Innumerable living entities are there. So many living entities, but super soul is one only. Though it is in everyone's heart, but it is one. Although he resides in everyone, he is only one. Okay. Then Anu, soul is Anu, 1/10,000th tip of the hair. He is subordinate to the supreme soul, and the super soul is infinite, Vibhu, and he is the supreme master. Okay. So that was the difference between the soul and the super soul. Now we are coming to the last part, enjoyer and the Jnana Chakshu. The material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Both are beginningless. How they came to this world, we don't know. Both are beginningless. But we know that we came from the Supreme Lord. Why? Because Lord has said. Their transformations and the mode of matter are product of material nature. How we are transforming from one body to another, that is also due to modes of nature. Modes of nature, the next chapter we are going to read. Okay? 14th chapter is the modes of nature. The Jiva in this material world, both material nature and the living entity are eternal. Jiva is also eternal, material nature is also eternal. Okay? Because they are part and parcel, they are energy of Krishna. Material nature is the energy of Krishna, Jiva is also energy of Krishna. That's why both are eternal. Lord is the supreme Purusha, but Jiva is trying to lord over this position in this material world. Okay. So Lord is the supreme Purusha, but Jiva is trying to lord over his position in this material world. Okay. Then nothing happens by chance. Okay. As cause and effect are both handled by the material nature. Example, COVID. So the thing is, nothing happens by chance. Okay. Any effect is there, there will be cause for that. Lord is neutral. He says, I'm neutral. Whatever you do, you will get the result. So any effect is there, there must be cause. Newton also says the same thing. For every effect, there must be a cause. Okay, so that is the thing. This is not like you are doing anything or something good is happening only to you. Okay, like that. It is not like that. Whatever you do, you will get the result. So this is very important point that nothing happens by chance. Example, cause and effect are both handled by the material nature. Okay, that is the thing. Why do bad things happen to the good people? So these questions devotees were asking in the previous classes, that why do bad things happen to the good people? I think last class only. The thing is, nothing happens by chance. Whatever you do, you will get the result. Maybe it will take some time, but it is bound to happen. Persons will be suffering, okay, if they did the bad thing. Okay, if you have done the good thing, you will have the result, you will enjoy the result. That is for certain. Do we have really freedom? Are we really enjoying here? Are we really enjoying? Do we have freedom? Actually, we are under the control of nature. Okay, so you see the influence of material nature will be, it will be described more in the 14th chapter, the tomorrow chapter. But you see, Purusha Prakriti Stohi Bhunkate Prakriti Janganaha Karanam Guna Sango Asya Shad Ashadyoni Janmashu. The living entity in the material nature thus follow the way of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. They try to enjoy the three modes of nature, but under the three modes, they are working. You see this picture very nicely depicting. This Prakriti is controlling the people. These people, who are these people? These are us. These are us only. We think that we are not controlled, but actually whatever we are doing under the control of the nature. Okay, the mode of nature. How these modes are controlling, we will be discussing in the next chapter. These are us only. Us. These are okay. So the Jiva in this material world is dependent. Living entity is the cause of material suffering and the enjoyment. So Jiva are actually not free in this world. Jiva is entangled. Jiva is like in the shackles. Okay. Hatkadi, not free. Okay. How these jivas are dependent and under the shackle. We'll see tomorrow. Okay. So that about the soul, jiva. Jiva is entangled. What about the super soul? What the super soul is doing in this body? Upadrishtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwaraha parmatmeti chapi ukto dehe yasmin purusha paraha. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer, permitter, and who is known as the super soul. In this body there is soul. So first Krishna described the 24 elements of the body, their interactions, the knowledge. Then he is describing the soul and the super soul. Also the soul is trying to enjoy this material world, but he is not able to enjoy because he is working under the modes of material nature. Then the description of super soul. So there is one, another enjoyer is there. So one enjoyer is in the soul. He is trying to enjoy. And one another enjoyer that is called transcendental enjoyer. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer. The super soul is the transcendental enjoyer who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the super overseer and permitter, and who is known as the super soul. So there is another enjoyer that is called super soul. What is the work of super soul in this body? He is overseer. Overseer means he is observing everything. Very minutely he is seeing. See the example of the bird. That bird is very minutely observing what the other bird is doing. That is called overseer. Okay, he is observing. Then the permitter. He is permitting. So when we were reading the three, the doers, the role of overseer, the role of super soul, we have seen that the super soul is permitter, sanctioned. Okay. So whatever desires a soul will have, the super soul will permit that, sanction that, okay, and the material nature will carry. Okay, so he is permitter. He will permit whether this work should be done or not based on our previous karma. And he is the supreme enjoyer. Okay, supreme proprietor, supreme enjoyer, transcendental enjoyer. So these are the work for the super soul in the body. So these are the three, the doers concept we have seen. Soul is there, super soul is there, and the material nature is there. Soul can desire, super soul will sanction based on the desire and karma, and material nature will carry out. Okay, carry out. So whom you want? You want super soul to be your boss or the material nature to be your boss? Modify the desire to cut the chain. Change your boss. Super soul. Okay. Now, finally, if you see final instructions after each chapter will be like this only. One who understands this philosophy concerning the material nature, the living entity, and the interactions of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. One who understands this, he will not take birth again here, regardless of his position, present position. Okay. So we have to understand this philosophy about the material nature, living entity, and the interactions of the mode of nature. So interactions of the mode of nature we are going to see tomorrow. Okay. How can we make this cycle disappear? Okay. Janma mrityu jara vyadi. When we are coming to this world, Janma mrityu jara vyadi will come along with us. And how we can make this cycle disappear? There comes the true seer who actually see what is happening. Samam sarveshu bhutesu tishthantum parameshwaram vinasyat sav avinashantam yash pashyati sa pashyati. One who sees that super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees, actual seer. Okay. So when a person is there and he is inside the body, when the soul is there inside the body, the soul thinks that I am this body, but actually this soul is not the body, and that will be called the true seer, who actually sees, the true seer who is actually seeing, which can see that soul is different, super soul is different, and this body is different. The knowledge about the Kshetra, this body, and the knower of this body, Kshetra and Kshetragya, that is soul and the super soul, these things are different. And what is their position? The soul The soul's position is the servitor relationship with the Supreme. Soul is part and parcel of the super soul, and the relationship of the soul and super soul is to serve the super soul. And this body is different. This body is different. This body and soul is totally different. Okay. So one who sees that every living entity, there is soul and super soul inside the body, and who sees that everything is equal, that person actually sees. He doesn't differentiate based on the bodily differences. Okay. Next, true seer. The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul situated in Brahman vision does not mix with the body, though situated in that body. The body is there and the soul is there. The soul is situated in the body, but the soul is thinking that I am this body. Krishna gives very nice example. The sky is there and the clouds are there in the sky. Though the cloud is there in the sky, but the cloud is different and the sky is different, and they do not mix. Similarly, a person who is true seer, he won't be mixed with the body. Very nice example. He's saying, Krishna is saying to make us understand that this body is different, the soul is different. And a person who is true seer, he will see the sky is different and the cloud is different. He won't mix. Similarly, the person who is true seer, the body is different and soul is different. They won't mix it. Okay, like that. Next, O son of Bharata, the sun alone illuminates all this universe. So does the living entity, one within the body, illuminates the entire body by consciousness. One more nice example. Soul is 10,000 part of tip of the hair. Very, 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 very small. Super soul is even smaller than that. Anuraniyam is smaller than the smallest, even smaller than the soul. Yet it is pervading everywhere. This body, whole body is fully conscious due to the soul. Which example Krishna is giving? Just like sun is there. One sun is there at one place, very small, and all the planetary system is like illuminated. One sun is illuminating all the planetary system, all this universe. One sun alone can illuminate all this universe. So does the living entity. So does the soul, which is very small, and it is illuminating all the body, entire body by consciousness. Two very nice examples: sun and the sky and the cloud, and the sun and the illumination. Okay. Kshetra kshetragyor evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakritim moksham cha ye viduryanti te param. Those who see with the eye of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body can also understand the process of liberation from the bondage in this material world and attain to the supreme goal. One who is true seer, one who has divine eye, one who is actually seeing what is happening, and one who is not mixing with the bodily concept, one who is surrendered to the supreme, that person is the actual person. That person is actually eligible for liberation, and that person is actually eligible from the liberation from this bondage of material world. And then he can attain to the supreme goal, supreme Lord, true seer person. Okay. So that was chapter's end. So this is the summary. It starts with the wise questions. Arjuna started asking the wise questions. Okay, 6 questions Arjuna asked. What were the questions? First is what is Prakriti, then what is Purusha, then what is the Gyan, what is the Kshetra, what is Kshetragya, what is Gyan, and what is Geyam. So these were the 6 questions. Items of the knowledge, Krishna gives 20 list of 20 items. Out of that, the pure devotional service is the most important. If we have that quality, we can develop every other quality. Then we have the soul and the super soul distinctions. We have seen that in tabulated chart, the soul is one and the super soul is different. Okay, soul is Anu, super soul is Vibhu. Soul is the only controller, partial controller of this body. Supreme soul is the full controller of this body as well as every body. We have seen the example of the farmer and the king to understand the soul and super soul distinction. Okay. And then we have seen the enjoyer. The Supreme Lord is the enjoyer. The Jiva is trying to enjoy, but is actually not enjoying. We have seen the position of Jiva in this material world. Okay. And Jiva is trying to enjoy, but it is more entangling himself in the mode of material nature. Then we have seen the super soul is the true enjoyer. He is the overseer. He is the sanctioner. Okay. And then Jnana Chakshu, a person who has the Jnana Chakshu, a person who has knowledge of these things. He doesn't mix with the sky or this body, just like the cloud doesn't make with the sky. And one small fragment, very small Atma can illuminate all the body, just like the sun illuminate all the universe. Okay, so these things we have learned. This is the last slide. I'll unmute every person. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Yes, little bit difficult chapter. Okay, I try to make it little bit simple. Okay, so little bit difficult. What are the three modes of nature? Yes, Arjuna will be getting that knowledge tomorrow, and along with Arjuna, we'll also be getting. Niti Mataji is asking what are the three modes of nature. So we'll see tomorrow. That chapter name itself is the mode of material nature. Okay, so we'll try to understand how these modes are working, how these modes are binding us, how to understand these modes, and how we can go above these modes. Okay. Okay, if you have any question, please ask. Apurva Mataji is asking, please explain Jnanam and Geyam. Jnana is the knowledge, the 20 elements we have seen. Jnana about this body and the interaction of this body. The knower of this body. The Jnana is that. Okay. So the Jnana is the 20 elements we have seen. That is the elements of the knowledge of the Jnana. And the Geyam, the knowledge about the soul and the super soul, that is called Geyam. The ultimate goal of the knowledge is to understand the Supreme Soul. So that is called Gyan and Geyam. So Arjuna asks, who is the Geyam? The body and the soul and the super soul is the actual Geyam. The things to be known. Geyam means the things to be known. Jnana is the knowledge about the body and the soul and the super soul. That is called Jnanam. And Geyam is the soul and the super soul is Geyam. Means the means the things for which we should have knowledge. That is called Geyam, the aim of the Jnana. Why super soul is smaller than the soul? Because Anuraniyam, we have read. The one sloka explained, like Supreme Lord is Anuraniyam. He is smaller than the smallest. Most smallest is the super soul. Okay, that's why. Purva Mata is asking, so the super soul in us has all the knowledge. Yes, the super soul in us has all the knowledge. He knows everything, what we are doing, what we are thinking. Not only we, everyone. Okay. Yes, Mataji, please read out questions.
If we are not body, that is over, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. No, this one we have not. If we are not body.
If we are not body and we are soul, then how can we deviate our pain?
So the thing is when he comes with the body, and along with the body, there comes the four miseries. Okay, birth, death, old age, and disease. That is going to happen. Everyone is going to suffer from these things. Okay. The best thing is to get liberated from this birth, death, old cycle. Unless and until we do that, we are coming to this material world again and we are having this body pain. Everything will be again and again. Okay. So we have taken this body. This is sure that we'll have the four problems: birth, death, old age, and disease. This is sure to happen. We cannot stop that process. Four things are going to happen. Okay. We can only do is we can serve on the foot of Krishna. Okay. And we can, in this way we can be always happy, like point was. Okay. So many distress, so many condition of problems were there. They are pure soul, still they are suffering from many problems, still they were dedicated fully to Krishna. Okay. So that is the thing. Problems will come, but a person who is not taking shelter of Krishna will suffer through the problems more. Suffering is different, problem is different. Okay. Problems will come. Are we suffering from those problems or not? That depends on us, our mentality. If you are taking shelter of Krishna, problems will be there, but we'll be okay. This is Krishna's mercy. Krishna has given us this problem. Let's happily face this problem. Okay. And let's try to remember Krishna in this problem, so that the greater problem, in the time of greater problem, the greatest exam, we can remember Krishna. Okay. So that is the mentality of the devotee. So that is the thing. And non-devotee, why this problem is coming to me? I'm so much distressed. Why this, that, they will be very agitated like that. So mentality, what is our mentality? Are we surrendered to Krishna or we surrender to Maya? Depends on that we are suffering or not. Okay. Like roads will be having holes. Okay. If a road is there and hole is there, two-person are going through the road. One person is going through the cycle, he'll feel the pain more. But a person who is going through Mercedes car, he won't feel the pain. But the roads are same. There are holes in the road. No one is going to change the holes in the road. Both will go through the road only. But a person who is not taking shelter of Krishna, he will be suffering more. Okay, but a person who is suffering, who is taking shelter of Krishna, he won't be suffering. The roads are same, but our mentality changes. Okay.
Next question is, so there is no way any animals can reach super soul.
How animal can reach super soul? Super soul is there in the animal also. With the soul, there is super soul also. But super soul can, the animals, the soul cannot make become super soul. We cannot leave the animal. We cannot become super soul. Okay, leave us. Take the example of Devata. They cannot also become the super soul. Okay, super soul is one, Supreme Lord. We cannot become. We are different. Super soul is different. Okay. Animals are the bhoga yoni. They will be doing the bhoga, whatever the karma they have done, they have accumulated. Based on that, they will get the animal body, and based on that, they will be gradually coming up to the human body. Okay. Again, in the human body, they will do some bad activity or some good activity. Accordingly, they will have the body. If they have good activity, they will go to the higher loka. They will enjoy the activity. If they have bad karma, they will come back to. They will go to the lower loka. Based on that, they will do. Okay, like that. Higher loka is also for enjoyment. Lower loka is for suffering. Okay, so like that it is happening. Human beings can have the so many opportunities to make karma, good karma or bad karma. Animals, they cannot make. Devatas, they are enjoying. Okay. Devata means higher plant. They are not Devata. They are the they are also the Bhakta of Krishna only. Okay. So the higher plant, the people who go to higher plant, they go enjoy, they will come back again. Okay. Okay. So do we have any question? If you have any question, we can take. Otherwise, we can end this session. Okay, so we have no question. Two questions came in
One
one
is
go.
there, Prabhu. Only the people who work for Krishna will not come back to earth.
So the people who work for Krishna, they will go to Krishna. The people who are working for themselves, they will be coming to themselves, to this work, whom we are dedicating. Okay, what is our consciousness? Depends on that. If our consciousness is Krishna conscious, we'll go to Krishna. Okay, like that. So whatever we desire, Krishna will fulfill. Whatever we desire, Krishna will fulfill. So it is very important to have the pure desire. Okay. So if you have desire to attain Krishna, we'll attain Krishna. If you have desire to earn money, this, that, we'll have that. Okay. Based on our karma. If our karma permits, we'll have all those things. Okay. If we desire to go to Swargaloka, we'll go to Swargaloka based on our karma. If we have done some good work, pious work, and we desire to go to the higher loka, we'll go to higher loka. If we desire to go to Krishna, and our karma permits that, our consciousness is like that, we have done our karmas, okay, we'll go to Krishna. Okay. So whatever you desire, you will get the body according to that. Only the people who work for Krishna will not come back to this earth. No. The people who are like the thing is desire, what we desire according to that.
Next question, Prabhuji. As there are so many gods in our Hindu dharma, and if we only worship Krishna, what about others? Will they feel bad or angry about it?
So that is what Krishna explains in many sloka. Okay, many sloka. Why the people worship demigods? Okay, it is not like that. And if you read the Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that this is like a tree. Okay, this is like a tree. Krishna is the root, and the devatas and all are like leaves, branches. Okay, like that. So watering on the tree, everything is fulfilled. If you are watering the tree, everything is fulfilled. If you are just watering the leaves, cleaning the leaves, okay, nothing is going to happen. Just cleaning the, but they won't be nourished. Everything will be nourished if you give water to the roots. Okay, so like that. So it is like that. So many one more example that is given, that if hand is there, hand is part of the body. So if you feed the stomach, everyone will get nourishment. Okay, if we try to feed the hand only, no, hand will say no, I will eat the rasgulla, I will eat the rasgulla. Okay, no one else will eat the rasgulla. It is not like that. If you feed the stomach, every organ of the body will get nourished. Okay, so that is the thing.
Next question. There are many gods which everyone knows and everyone says to believe in them. So how do we choose?
The thing is, the people you are listening to, they're saying due to their opinion. If a person is a, see, I'm just thinking of an example so that you can understand more. Okay, let me try to make you understand. Okay, the thing is, when the people try to understand God based on their thinking, people will say, no, I think that this person is God. I think. From where the thinking came? From where you have known that this person is God? I think. Many people you will find, they will in the society, they will say, no, I am God. How you know? Here the persons are many people will be there who will be saying, no, I am God. Okay, many people will following also. What to tell about those people? Okay, they are following. Some people, they will follow. Some people, they will think that this person is God, and they will start following that person. Many devotees will be there for that person. Okay, so any person is there, and that depends on the modes in which the person is. If a person is there in the mode of ignorance, he will try to do anything like that. Okay, even human beings, people try to worship. If you go Many places you will find many film stars. There is a temple in the name of film star. People are worshipping that also. People can worship anything. If you are asking some desire to a dog and dog is fulfilling, for that person, dog is the God. Okay. So the thing is, if we start believing the people, okay, then we'll be in like in the coma, deep sleep. We cannot understand. The thing is whom to believe that that problem. And from that, for that, we have discussed that to understand God, there are three sources of knowledge. One is called direct perception to the senses. One is called theories based on that. And third is called Prataksha Praman, or the Shabda Praman, or the Prataksha Praman, Shabda Praman, or the Shastra Praman, when a bona fide person says. So Krishna is saying, and we should be believing, okay, like that. Whom should we believe? A person who is saying, a normal person, a materialistic person, a loafer person who is saying these things, or I should believe Krishna. Whom should I believe? I should believe a loafer person, or I should believe Krishna. Okay, like that. Whom should I believe? That is more important. One more question. Hindu first worship Ganesh ji before any puja after following Krishna ji. Ganesh puja is not required. Actually, it is not required. But Ganesh ji can clear the path for the devotion. When you are worshipping Krishna, you can worship Ganesh also, and you can ask that I want to worship, I want to increase my devotion towards Krishna. When you worship any demigods, you can ask for this desire that I want to worship, I want to devote myself to Krishna. Okay, I want to become devotee of Krishna. Please help me out. So they can help out. Okay, so that is the thing.
Next question. Prabhuji, please mention the name of the book which you were referring to in the beginning.
Which book? Acha, from where to read? Okay, I'll tell you. So I'll tell you where to read these things. Okay, so this is the, so I'll open the site that is called vedabase.io. Okay, this is vedabase.io. This is the site. So I'll copy it and paste in the chat box also if you want to open for that. This is the site. So I'm opening this site, and there is Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So many books are there. So this is all the books will be there. So you can read out the books from here online, from the mobile, from everywhere. So Bhagavad Gita, I will click. And then there are chapters. Okay. So I want to read chapter number 13. So this is chapter number 13. So I'll click it. And then the slokas are there, and we want to read the sloka and the meaning, we can read from here. Okay, so this is the text I was referring to, the 20 elements of the knowledge. So I'll click on this text. So here comes the sloka in Sanskrit, then the English translation, then comes the synonyms, each word meaning, then comes the translation, then comes the purport. So you start reading the purport. So you will see about every item it is written. What is the meaning of non-violence, tolerance? Okay, what is the meaning of simplicity? What is the cleanliness? So I'll encourage you to open the site and read out the sloka. Okay.
Next question is, Prabhuji, what is the way for animals to end this cycle of birth and death and go back to Godhead?
So animals gradually, they are like they are in like stairs. Okay, they're gradually coming up to the human life. Okay, they will take many birth to come to this human life, and from human life they can start the self-realization. Okay, in animal life, that is bhoga yoni. Whatever activity you have done, so you will see many people are doing many bad activity in this world. How those activity are going to, they are going to suffer those activity. For that, they are going to take the animal species life, and once taken, it will take many life for us to come to this human form of life. And from human form of life, we can realize and we can go back to Lord. Okay, that is the thing. Animals cannot go. They have to come to this human form of life for the self-realization.
Next question. I have always thought all God are same. The way we worship is different. What do you have to say?
The thing is that when we have this nama prad, okay, when we chant, there is 10 aparadha there. Out of them, one is that same, okay. That considering every Lord equal to Krishna, okay, that is also a nama prad, okay. So that is actually not true, and we consider it through our senses only. We think that's why some people may think that Goddess Kali is very nice. Okay, I have much attraction to Goddess Kali. I'll follow Goddess Kali. Some people may think, no, Durga Mata is best. I'll follow Durga Mata. Every Durga Puja, I will be a very nice person, and every other day I will be the same person, like that. Some people may say, I'm the follower of any other you can take. Okay, like that. How they are getting this knowledge? They think. Okay, that is called they think. They don't believe on Shastra. I think that my father is this. I think that my father is this. If I'm not knowing my father, who is my father? I think that this person is my father. I think that this person is my father. I feel that this person is, I think that this person is my father. If you ask different people, they will say, this person is your father, this person is father. I think this person is your father. Better to ask the mother. Okay, the thing is, the Shastras are like mother, who will tell us who is the actual person, who is the supreme. Okay, many people may think different thing, and every person is not equal. Some person may say this is God, some person may say this is God, some person may that is God, some person may say I am God. Whom to believe? Okay, whom to believe is Shastras. Okay, that's why Bhagavad Gita is here. Okay. Arya Sharma Mataji has asked very nice question. How animals can end their cycle of birth and death? Actually, they cannot. Humans can. Okay, humans can. And once we have this human body and we are misutilizing our freedom, we'll go back to animal life again, and it will be very difficult. Many life it will take to come back again to human form of life. Okay, so actually, this human form of life is called as very important gift for the self-realization, and people will be misutilizing it. They are like misers. They are only considering the body concept, not the soul part. Okay, they are not considering the self-realization, only materialistic. They are engaging themselves. Okay, like that. Madan Prabhu. So in this life, we have choice to reach Krishna through different yoga or continue to suffer and take rebirth again. Yes, that is what we have understood. Okay, that this life, human form, if you, anywhere you go, they will say human form of life is very important, very important. This human form of life is very precious, very precious. We should not be miser for utilizing this human form of life just for sense gratification. Okay, we have to utilize this life to go back to Krishna. Okay, to go back to Krishna. So that is the important part. Madan Prabhu is saying very nice point, that so in this life we have the choice to reach Krishna through different yoga or continue to suffer and take rebirth again. Yes, this life is the deciding life. One more, Apurva Mataji is asking, will Krishna will reciprocate our love in whatever form we are loving him, like a friend or our teacher? Yes, Krishna will reciprocate. But first, the entry point is the dasa. Das relationship. It is not like that you want Krishna as your children, then Krishna will become your child. Not like that. Entry point is the dasa. Okay, become the dasa of Krishna first.
One question, Prabhuji.
So, one question is there.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
to be precise, chanting of Mahamantra is answer to everything, isn't it? Knowing of Shastra is almost impossible to the common people. So believe in Krishna and chant the Mahamantra as much as possible, isn't it?
That is the same thing will Krishna will tell in the 18th chapter, the summary part. Okay. And you have told the essence of all the Shastra is to know Krishna and to devote ourselves to Krishna. That is what you have precisely said. I'm very happy that in the 12th, 13th chapter only you have understood this concept. And Krishna will be telling the same thing. After telling everything, Krishna tells, don't be confused of all those things. Man manabhav mad bhakto mandyaji mam namaskaru. Become my devotee. Okay. Become my devotee and do service to me. Like that. Okay. So that is the same thing Krishna tells. One answer, one word. If any person asks you what you have learned from Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita, one word, one sentence you can tell is, I am the soul, Krishna is the super soul, and my duty is to serve Krishna. That is what is the summary of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, one word. So one question, Apurva Mataji, does our soul also have knowledge like super soul? I already told you, soul doesn't have full knowledge, only know about little bit about this body. Okay. Satchidanand. The knowledge is Satchidanand, and Krishna is also Satchidanand, us is also Satchidanand. Both are Satchidanand. Qualities wise, we are both same. So a few questions are there in my personal chat. We'll take up. Apurva Mata is asking, does both soul, super soul has knowledge or only super? Acha, we have taken this question. Which is that mantra to chant once before chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? That is called Panchatattva mantra. Okay, so daily we chant based on that. If possible, Mataji, can you put that Panchatattva mantra and Mahamantra in the group so that people can, based on that, chant? Hare Krishna, Shri Vidya Mataji.
Yes.
Mahamantra and Panchatattva mantra, can you post in the group, Mataji, so that
Yes,
people
yes.
can chant?
Okay, Prabhuji. Mahamantra
Okay,
and Panchatattva mantra.
okay, so we have 10 minutes, but we don't have any question. So we'll end it today.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
We'll
you so
meet
much,
tomorrow.
Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much, Mataji. We'll meet tomorrow again.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu bhaveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.